We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and via Skype from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Morality is like magic, and Tantra is science. Remember, truth is like a lamp, is a lamp. When placed on the mountain top, it becomes visible from a distance. However, its light may remain dim because you are seeing it from a distance, but it is visible from a distance because it is put on top of the mountain. Truth is the lamp. When placed on mountain top, becomes visible from a distance. However, its light may appear to you to be dim. You may not see it correct. You may not see the light of truth clear. To experience something and realize as pain, happiness, bliss, or enlightenment is one thing. It is difficult and it takes a lot of efforts, and sometimes it becomes unbearable when pangs of pain come in life or happiness. But to express and enact that realization or experience, or to recreate or relive or to commune that to others is almost impossible. It's like I give you a cup of tea to drink. You are drinking the tea. You are experiencing the taste and everything. And after that I ask you to narrate that experience. It becomes difficult. In the same way, to experience and realize something, be it pain or happiness or bliss or anything else, is one thing. It is difficult and it takes a lot of efforts, and sometimes it becomes unbearable. But to express or enact that realization or experience or recreate or relive or commune that to others is almost impossible. Morality that we all live with is like magic. It goes on talking about perfect man without having the slightest knowledge of what perfect man is, what real man is, and perfect man remains a dream. And we live in a dream state, never want to come out. I have heard one day Bozuku, the Zen master, woke up and he called one of his disciples and said that I had a dream last night. Would you analyze it? The disciple said, wait. And he brought a bucket of water asked him to wash his face. It was cold winter night, and he threw some water on Buzuku. Buzuku asked, I ask you to analyze the dream. He said, this is what the analysis is. You want the analysis because you are still asleep. Wake up. Dream is not a reality. Buzuku told the disciple, if you had in any way tried to give explanation of the dream, I would have thrown you out. Same time, another disciple came and Buzuku asked him the same thing. He said, wait, and he brought a cup of hot tea. He said, drink it first. So dream, we live in a state of dream, whether it is waking or sleeping. For morality remains like magic. It goes on talking about the perfect man, the real man, without knowing what it is, so it remains as a dream. It is just to condemn the real man. Man never reaches that. Tantra, on the other hand, is science. First of all, it explains, it wants to know what the reality is, what man is, and says, do not create values, do not create ideals right now. First know what is. Be realistic. Do not think of what ought to be. Morality thinks, moves around what ought to be. Tantra says, just think of is. And once is known, what is, then you can change it. And to know what is, you have gotten this secret. If you are illusioned about what is, then the journey cannot continue. For example, Tantra says, do not try to be against sex. Do not try to be against sex. If you are against sex and try to create a state of celibacy, purity, it is impossible. Without knowing the essence of sex, you are going against it. You are creating celibacy, purity, it is impossible. It is just magical. Without knowing what sex energy is, without knowing what it is constituted, without going deep into the reality of it, the secret of it, you can create an ideal of celibacy. Then what will you do? You will simply suppress all that is natural. And a person who is suppressing sex becomes more sexual than a person who is indulging in it, because through indulgence, energy is released. Through suppression, it is there. It becomes stronger. It goes on moving into your system continuously. A person who suppresses sex starts seeing sex everywhere. Sigmund Freud was one such psychoanalyst. Anything you ask him a question, he will connect it to this sex. everything for such a person becomes sexual. Not that everything is sexual, but now he projects. Now he projects his own hidden energies now projected on everything. Everywhere he will look, he will see sex. And because he is condemning himself, he will start condemning everyone. He cannot find a moralist you cannot find a moralist who is not violent in condemning. He is condemning everyone. To him, everyone is wrong. Then he feels good. His ego is fulfilled. Why is everyone wrong? Because he sees everywhere the same thing that he is suppressing. His own mind will become more and more sexual. More and more he will be afraid. This is the perverted celibacy. It is unnatural. But in the absence of understanding, this is what goes on happening. A different quality, a different type of celibacy happens to those who follow Tantra. But the very process is totally, diametrically opposite. Tantra first teaches you how to move in sex with understanding, how to know it, how to feel it, how to come to the deepest possibility hidden in it, to the climax, how to find the essential beauty in it, the essential happiness and bliss that is hidden there. When you have experienced this, if you eat food, I give you example which you all can experience. If you eat food very fast, just swallowing it, you will feel hungry. Firstly, if you are eating empty calories, you will feel hungry by the time you are finished. If you are eating fast, just swallowing, the essential qualities of that food does not go in. It is just swallowed. As compared to that, it is science says that you must chew the food 32 times so that it becomes liquid-like, and only then when it goes to the stomach. In that way you will feel satiated, and after you have completed one meal, and during the time, and then until you take the next meal, you will not be thinking about food. If you are eating empty calories, by the time you are finished, the satiation has not come. You will think what to eat now. You ate a portion of French fries, empty calories, a big Coke, empty calories. Then you do not know what to do. So you go to the next eatery, you take a donut and a coffee, again empty calories. You will go on stuffing yourself without any satiation. So Tantra says once you know the secrets, you can transcend it, because really a deep sexual orgasm, because in a deep sexual orgasm, it is not sex which gives you bliss. Understand this, in a deep sexual orgasm, it is not the sex which gives you bliss, it is something else. Sex is just a situation, it creates a situation. Something else is giving you the euphoria, the ecstasy, the bliss. That something else can be divided into three elements. That which gives you the fulfillment can be divided into three elements. When I speak about those elements, do not think that you can understand them just from my words. They must become part of your experience. As I said, to experience something is one thing. As concepts, they are useless and you are interested in concepts. Because of the three elements in sex, you come to a blissful moment. Those three elements are, firstly, timelessness. You cannot understand this word timelessness until you go into it. You transcend time completely. In meditation, sometimes you experience timelessness. In the deeper state of orgasm, there is timelessness, there is no time. You forget time completely. Time ceases for you. In a state of acute pain or ecstasy, time ceases for you. Now that time ceases, it ceases for you, you are beyond time. There is no past, no future. In this very moment, simply you are here now. The whole existence is concentrated. This moment becomes the only real moment of timelessness. If you can make this moment the only real moment without sex, then there is no need for sex. Through meditation as well this happens. This is the first element, timelessness. To experience this, to live it, to be a part of this. Secondly, in sex, for the first time, ego vanishes. You become egoless. So all those who are very much egoistic, they are all against and always against sex. Because in sex they have to lose ego. Without losing ego, sex does not happen. You are not, nor is there the other. You and your beloved both are lost into something else. A new reality evolves. A new unit comes into existence in which old is no more, old is lost, completely lost. The ego is afraid of losing itself. You are no more there. If without sex you come to a moment when you are not, then there is no need for sex for you. In meditation, you experience that state of egolessness. And then there is the third. In sex, You are natural, you are spontaneous for the first time. The unreal is no more, it is lost. The mask faces are no more. The facets are lost. For the society, the culture, the civilization, all that is lost. You are part of natural, spontaneous, as trees are, as animals are, as stars are. You are part of the nature. You are greater. You are in a greater something in cosmos. This is what devotion is. If you are devoted to yourself, if you are living, I had mentioned to you, devotion is the inner reality, the flowering of the being, utmost sweetness that a human being is capable of gathering within himself. It does not matter who you are devoted to, Jesus, Shiva, clouds, Muhammad, mountains, river, or even to your dog. The object of devotion does not matter. Once you are capable of keeping yourself alive and pulsating within to unknown and unknowable, something magnanimous can happen. Only then you can experience something larger and magnanimous than you. You are greater. You are in a greater something, the cosmos, as trees are, as animals are, as mountains, as stars, as rivers are. You are part of this nature. You are in a greater something, cosmos, Tao. You are floating in it. You cannot even swim in it. Swimming is an effort, but floating is effortless. You are just floating, being taken by the current. These are the three things that give you ecstasy, not sex. Sex is just a means through which you attain to a state of timelessness, through which you enter in a state of egolessness. Through that you enter into a state of natural. Sex is just a situation in which it happens, and it can happen naturally. Once you know, once you can feel these elements, you can create these elements independently of sex. All meditation is essentially the experience of sex without sex. Meditation is the experience of timelessness, egolessness, and natural beyond the society, beyond the logic, beyond the religions, beyond the customs. Independently, all meditation is essentially the experience of sex without sex. But you have to go through it. It must become part of your experience, not just a concept, ideal, or thoughts. Tantra is not for sex as it is usually considered. Tantra is the process, is the science of transcend, is the science of transcendence. You can transcend only through experience. And then it becomes an existential experience, not through ideology. Only through Tantra does celibacy really happens. It looks paradoxical, but it is not, and it is the reality. Only through knowledge does transcendence happen. Ignorance cannot help you towards transcendence. It can only help you, ignorance can only help you towards hypocrisy. This was the first question. I will continue in the next session with the next question. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.